the I Guess Anything podcast. I'm joined here today with T-Jard
Hi, hi.
and Dominion,
Hello.
and I'm Chipmunk. And I just wanted to say hello. And excuse me if I sound a little groggy. I just woke up from a nap. So I might be all wee. So, so how's everyone day, week been going?
Pretty good. I can't complain.
Yeah, me either. Dominion?
Yeah, pretty good. Got to do some D&D.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun.
Happy everybody had a fun time at D&D.
We did. I enjoyed it. And we kind of do D&D every once in a while. And, our DM is actually Mr. T-Jard himself.
For now.
The famous T-Jard.
For now, I'm the DM.
Yeah,
No.
for now.
One day, I will escape this ill fate.
But you do such a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do all kinds of dumb voices.
Dumb
Hey.
voices.
No.
Yeah, I'm the only one willing to be really, really stupid. That's what makes me good DM is I'm willing to be dumb.
Because we don't know what's going to come out. Like, kind of a little snippet of what happened. Yes, I know it's kind of going to be like hard to explain, but we met an NPC called the Royal Ratcatcher, who really hates ratmen, and he was very, 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 very interesting. He was fun interacting with.
Yeah, I try to make him fun.
Yeah, poor dude needs to get out of the sewers.
Why? He loves it in the sewers. It's safe there.
Are you sure?
He loves it there. There could be humans wearing or there could be ratmen wearing human skin on the outside. You never can tell.
Uh, yeah. Who knows?
Everybody seemed to like when the during the class the mage was like bullshit. It's all
Yes.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was fun.
I'm glad my character attended that class. She needed the XP, the knowledge.
Yeah, the knowledge. Yeah,
And I was
very.
Knowledge.
actually writing down some notes on like what he was saying, and then when he's like, "It's all bull, Dookie," and I'm like, "Okay,
Well,
it's going to be one of these classes."
keep in mind his I like there's there's contradicting stories of like how things came about, and usually mages are like, this is what the history is, but I don't believe the history. I believe in what I think.
Yeah, because mages are I don't know how to describe them. They're very interesting. Like all the mages we've met, we have a mage in the party. He's interesting. Well, actually, it's actually Nuke, Ord, and Jub. Don't know what to call him. He keeps on changing his name every time we we start the party. Nuke, known as Ord, formerly known as Jub, or the other way around.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But yes, as you guys can see, he's not here with us right now.
He said
in a,
he's got better things to do than to hang out with us.
Mhm.
he's in a better place now.
He's not really dead.
I didn't say he was dead. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he sleeping or?
No, he had to go buy fireworks since he missed out on
Ah,
fireworks yesterday.
oh, well, that
So,
sounds fun and
yeah.
understandable. Yeah, I think I used to work at a fireworks stand before.
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a very interesting. My fireworks stand working days weren't really as hectic. Mine was kind of normal, just memorizing the prices of the fireworks and everything like that. Um, but anyway, I know they probably go on a sale or something trying to get rid of some of the stock
Hmm.
before they count, you know, pack up.
Don't you find it crazy that you worked at that fireworks tent and you didn't realize that everyone around you was on drugs?
Yeah.
Shocking revelation.
Yeah, right. I don't know if they were on drugs, but I know there was some stuff that happened in the camper. Like, I was just there to work. I was just trying to get some, you know, just money. I worked the morning, and then I'm like,
Oh, that's
I'm
the best
done.
time to work.
Yeah, I worked the morning. I did not work the night.
The night shift was crazy.
Well, I did work a couple of nights, but yeah.
Filled with crazy people.
Mhm. It's really it's really funny because we were also warned, like, uh, that, hey, if they try to buy up a lot of sparklers, they were going to make sparkler booms.
You can't make those anymore.
No,
Yeah.
we can't. That's the thing. So they're just buying these sparklers, trying to make those things, and it's like they took out that specific, or they changed the formula where people can't.
Yeah, it was the ones that had the metal. Yeah,
The metal sparklers.
yeah, the metal. And they don't make those anymore.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Fireworks are lame now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to be able to blow your hand off with little
You
mini
can't even get
dynamite.
the M180s and
I
stuff like
know.
that.
We should get those
Uh,
water dynamites, try to knock fish out.
the Roman candles is so tiny and barely fire 2 feet.
Yeah.
I can take a water hose and spray water further than the Roman candle can shoot. I remember when you could shoot like 50, 60 yards with a Roman candle.
Yeah.
Are we okay on YouTube? Are we
Yeah,
on
it's
YouTube?
it's there. It's going.
Okay.
But you need me to. All right, I'll confirm. Watch this.
You confirm? Let's confirm.
I'll confirm as well, I guess.
Oh, looking good. Guys and lady. By the minion.
Wait,
See, told you.
I know what I'll confirm on. I'll look at Kick.
Yeah, I did it on Kick too.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a woot woot.
Yeah, I did that earlier.
But
Woot woot. So
you can
everything's working.
confirm on Kick if you want.
Yeah. Do your little emoji things, the little see what pops up. But yeah, bottle rocket and Roman candle wars was a thing. Now you can't do that no more because nothing explodes anymore.
Yeah.
They cut down the formulas so much with the fireworks. But I'm glad everybody had a. It doesn't really show up on Restream. It just says dance emote, dance emote, dance.
It works for me. I can see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it works for me too.
Well, on our side of the viewing, but if I wanted to show it, it just
Oh, if you wanted to highlight it, yeah, no,
yeah, if you want to
it just
highlight
says
it, won't.
letters and numbers.
Yeah, dance mode, dance mode, dance mode.
But we know what. If you look over there in our
In
chat,
our
you
chat,
can.
we can see. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm glad everyone had a safe Fourth because we were all
Yeah.
here.
If you can't have a bottle rocket Roman candle war, it is not 4th of July.
If you are not inhaling 50% of gun smoke, it is not 4th of July.
If you're not
Gunpowder.
tying fireworks to a cat's tail,
Aw, who did that? Did you guys do that? That's so mean.
no.
Nah, I didn't do that. I've done probably worse things to cats whenever I was a kid, but I
No.
didn't do that.
Was it Buck or somebody else that tied something to a cat and it ran under the house and caught the house on fire or something like that?
Did that really happen?
Do you know who I'm talking about? Have you heard that story from somebody?
I heard that from somebody, but I don't know who it
I
is.
can't remember who it was.
I don't think it was Buck.
Yeah, it just seems like a Buck thing.
I remember I had a friend one time, and he taped two dogs' mouths together kissing because he thought it was funny.
Okay.
He was like, "I'm going to make the doggies kiss," and he taped them together, and they died.
What?
Oh,
They suffocated.
Wow.
And then
sad.
I know.
That's pretty effed
That's
up.
like demented stuff there.
I mean, it's a kid being stupid, and
Yeah.
it was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Dogs have to breathe." It is an unsupervised kid, and
No.
then I think a little while later he tied two dogs' tails together and was like, "Look, mom, I learned their tails are tied. They can't die now." They're both like just pissed at each other, like, "Get away from me!"
No. That's so sad.
That's what happens when the boys were unattended in the '90s. They did terrible things. Now you can just give them the iPad and be like, "All right, don't kill the animals."
They don't go outside or do anything after you give them a cell phone or iPad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hot outside. Why would you?
We went outside all the time when we was kids, and it didn't bother us.
It was hot.
No, we didn't feel a thing when we was kids.
Whenever I was a kid, I was always hot, but I didn't care because it was hot inside too. We didn't have air conditioning, so
Like I said, we didn't care. It didn't bother us. Stay outside, go play paintball and all kinds of stuff,
Yeah. We weren't allowed to be inside.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Get away, go, get out of my hair. I don't want to see your face anymore. Go away, kid." And we'd be like,
You
"Okay."
show up at lunchtime when there's food,
Yeah.
and you can leave and not come back until dinner,
Yeah, pretty much.
and then you can leave again and don't come back until it's bedtime.
Yeah.
Don't you people want to go back to the point where your parents couldn't stand you? They won't be your friend or anything. We're like, "I love you a lot, but I don't want to look at your face. I would just get away from me. I don't. I love you, but I don't like you. Just go somewhere that's not here. Just go."
Now people just call that trauma.
Oh, you poor thing. They shouldn't have done that to you.
But
I think that's good
How
advice
could
for
they do
everybody.
that to you?
think that's good advice for everybody. Like you get anybody that you hang around for too long, you're just like, I like you and everything, but you need to get away from me for a little while.
I think he's saying something to
I
me.
know. I think he is. I think he's tired of us.
Mm-hmm.
I never said that. I'm
But
just saying, especially when you live with people. When you live with people, you're just like, I've seen you for like 12 hours straight for 3 days straight. You need to get away from me. I'm
Yeah.
starting to notice the details. It's like I don't like how you chew toast anymore. Just get away from me.
for a second, I thought you said, I don't like how you chew toes.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm sick of my roommates coming in and chewing on their toes on the couch. Get out of here.
Yeah. That's how it was with we both had the same roommate. I worked with him, and then I had to come home and still live with him.
Oh man,
No.
that probably yeah. That's how people die in their sleep.
Oh no.
It's fine every once in a while, but then every once in a while it's like, okay, yep, because he'd always want to go out and eat just about every
Yeah,
night. I'm like, I can't go out and eat every night,
Yeah.
even though I was making good money then, so I could, but I usually chose not to. I want to go to work, come home, and play video games.
Mm.
We had Elite Dangerous. We had to
yeah.
play Elite Dangerous.
We had to make profit on there. We're tired of being poor virtually.
Yeah.
Man, you guys were making bank on Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, we were.
I like how. Wait, I think it was brought up maybe last stream. I don't know. It's like when you guys said when you're out eating and you're talking about what you guys are doing on Elite Dangerous, like smuggling
Yeah,
people
Did we
over the
talk about
border.
that?
yeah.
I don't know if we did
We
or
did
not.
last stream. I was
Okay.
like trying to be nice about my words. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say, um, shouldn't say slavery. It's like trafficking slaves while your family's watching.
Yeah.
It's probably that might not be a great idea. I don't know.
Uh, yeah, that was fun. Mm.
No, I just thought it was funny that we made people like ask why is Bellabog getting these contracts, and it was
Oh
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody was like, "Why is what's so important about Bellabog? Why is it constantly glitching?" There was like a Reddit post or something talking about that Bellabog was constantly producing ridiculously good contracts.
Yeah, this was in the Elite Dangerous still, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was
so
good.
so I
But
did before we even really got started. I did a bunch of experiments, and I spent like probably 48 hours playing really hard to see if I could make an impact in the market to prove that the market was dynamic, and the more that you took out of a system, the more the demand would go up. And then once I kind of proved that the demand went up, I picked a system that was an industrial system, and then I was like, okay, now that we've done this, let's run another experiment and see how like much we can destroy the system. And I recruited Jesse, and we started um, screwing with the power dynamic there. And then we started a war. And then I was like, okay, now let's like embolden both sides as much as we possibly can and see how bad we can make the war. And we did. And we basically carted in enough landmines to kill all the children on the planet.
Oh my gosh, not the children.
And then after we carted in all those landmines, because it had gotten so bad, a plague broke out, and I was like, okay.
They need medical.
I was like, let's not bring medical in for a while, and let's just wait and see if we can like jack the price up and just keep the war going terribly. And then they jacked the price up on medical supplies. I'm like, okay, this is all the information I need. I know how to manipulate the market. And from then on, I was like, all we got to do is haul furniture out and then haul gold in. And that's all we did after that. I like destroyed everybody's lives to figure out that we needed to be merchant dealers, like furniture dealers.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome because it's like you get on the internet or whatever, and then people's like, "What the heck's going on with Bellabog?" And it's like, "Oh, that was us."
Yeah, it's like, why is this happening? Is somebody doing this? It was like, why is it glitching so much so often? I was in an argument with a guy, and he was like, "You need to come across the human space and come here. There's a contract here for $3 million. You need to come take these contracts. It's producing $3 million regularly, like every contract." And I was like, dude, come to my sector and help us haul in gold right now. And he was like, no, it's $3 million, dude. And I was like, we're doing $50 million contracts. Stop with this chump change. Yeah. Some guy came on and was like, well, I'm going to do you a big favor, and I'm going to take out this big time bounty. And it's like a $5 million contract. He was thinking that we were going to be impressed. And we're like, $5 million. They gave us the contract and killed the guy and was like, there, all you guys got to do is pick it up. And I'm like, that's nothing. It's not worth me going, spending the time to get there.
I waited until I had a contract that was close by, I think
I let it expire. I was just like, just out of pure laziness, I was just like, yeah, I got too much on my plate. I'm running a reputable furniture shipping business, so and occasionally running slavery on the side just for some extra.
that was fun. When
Yeah.
we was like, all right, we're not going to do the slavery thing or
Yeah,
this,
everybody.
the illegal weapons, I think, and
yeah,
and then T-Jar's like, he comes across the high price ones,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, okay, well, T-Jar, you can do that. We'll stick to the other ones, and then he gets a really big one where he kind of needs help, and then I kind of be like, all right, well, I'll help you then.
Yeah, I tempted everybody over to the dark side because I was just like, listen,
Yeah.
I've got morals like everybody else, but $50 million is $50 million. And everyone's like, well, I'll take the contract, but I won't haul them. And I'm like, all right, you'll take my filthy money, but you won't help me. That's fine. And then after a while, after I did a couple, everybody had already dipped their toe into it, and they're like, well, I've already taken the filthy money. I might as well help. It's really good money.
Yeah. And it was
like,
fun.
Yes, come to the dark side with me.
It was fun going just about full speed into the mail slot just to try to stop once you get in and not get scanned by the security.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be outside the space station screaming.
T-Jar would go with, he'd get his biggest ship that he could possibly get and take the shields completely off of it to haul stuff.
Yeah, I don't recommend doing that because
he
somebody
blew
else
up one time because he went through the mail slot and he couldn't stop, and he hit the other side of the wall and died.
I wouldn't recommend doing that because somebody else did that and they blew up like several times. That was somebody that was in our group. He just kept blowing up.
Well, that ship that you had, if you didn't get it just right, it had just enough room to get in the mail slot. You know.
Yeah. On top of which, they got to the point at one point they knew I was hauling something in there. Then the ships would actually come out there to try to scan me, and
Yeah.
I'd be running and I'd be screaming. I'd be like, "Oh, they're trying to scan me!" And I've got enough. And it's like if I get caught with this, I'm going underneath the jail. This is going this is going to cost me so much money. This is so much cargo that's illegal. I'm going to get charged so much money and I'm running. It was enough to get like killed on sight as well. And then I just like run away and then turn around, go full speed towards the space station, and I'm like, it's time to pray because the ship that I had was just big enough to fit through the mail slot as well. It was like if you didn't hit it perfect, you were going to get hung up and blow up.
Yeah, I remember you guys playing Elite Dangerous. I wasn't able to play it. I don't think I could play it. Uh, I got like really motion sick when I was trying to watch you guys play, and I was like, I can't.
uh, I know one thing you'd never be able to do. There's these ship launch fighters, and occasionally you'd be flying in the ship launch fighter and something would ding you and it'd like ding a wing and it'd spin you out of control and I
Oh,
would get
God.
motion sick on that. It would just be like
Oh no.
those ship launch fighters were a ton of fun though.
I probably shouldn't tell you, but Elite Dangerous is on sale with Summer Sale.
Oh, everybody says it sucks now,
Yeah,
but
it does.
I still want to play it.
It sucks, but I'm still gonna play it.
Yeah, I still want to even though it's like not as good.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to rebuy it when I already bought it once.
Yeah, well, I mean they do have the transfer and I'm like, well,
Is that
that's
still a
good.
thing?
Yeah, that's still a thing. You just go to their website and say, "Hey, please
I don't want to have to
transfer."
go to their website.
No, I think I'd be okay going probably.
Why can't I just, when I sign in, just use my account
Yeah,
to
I don't
sign
know
in with my Xbox account?
because they're
Or
stingy like that. I did have a lot of fun, like wage slaving on the game, but at a certain point, I was like, I could just get a regular trucking job.
yeah,
But I did really enjoy it. It was fun to move a whole bunch of goods and actually see an impact on the galactic market. And our guy that we were backing gained a whole bunch of power. He went from like nothing to having a super carrier or whatever. I think he had two of them at one point. But then the pilots federation came in and screwed everything up.
Pirates Federation?
Yeah, the new pilots federation or new pilots initiative or something like
Oh.
that. It was a group that was set on training new people
Mm-hmm.
uh, to be good at the game. And since Bellabug had a tendency to spawn $50 million contract, they set up like two or three jumps from Bellabog,
Mm-hmm.
and then they took over all our territory. Uh, just by sheer numbers. I do remember reading an article that was pretty funny because uh, the new pilots initiative found a group of players that were taking new players and making them into slaves.
Oh.
Yeah, they would be like, "Hey, get on our jump ship," and then they would jump them out in the middle of nowhere to the star that you had to have
Ooh.
a certain uh, amount of jump distance to be able to jump away.
Yeah.
And then, but the star was pretty isolated. You had to have like a 20 light year jump range to get out. And then once you were stuck there, they were like, "Hey, if you work, you get your freedom."
Yeah, I think I remember you guys talking about that.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But then the new pilots initiative came in and basically destroyed the group and liberated all the people that were stuck.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
that was a funny like lore thing that they were doing. They were scamming people.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like, was it a campaign you were thinking about doing? Like a D&D campaign is one of your, um, where it's like you get, not really, well, actually, you get scammed into the guild.
Oh yeah, that was like a story or campaign. It's like um, whenever you get there, everybody everybody in the city is full of scammers, and
Mm
everything is like works off of the dungeon, and half of the people are in debt, and they're all trying to shove their debt off on you.
hmm. Mm hmm.
Uh, and you know, you in order to be an adventurer, they're like, "Hey, we'll rent you armor," and you know, um, if you work really hard, maybe one day you'll be able to buy your own armor, and then and then when you try to bring the armor back, they're like, "Oh, it's a little damaged, so you're gonna like lose your deposit."
So it's like Tom Nook from
Yeah,
Animal Crossing.
yeah.
You're always in debt. I have something I just came across on it on X. I don't know if it's like a fan made trailer or this is actually going to be a game, but I just happened to see it. It just takes me 1 second. I'll wait until Dominion gets back.
Okay.
It's called Hellmart. And I'm like, oh, this kind of sounds like someone who works at a Walmart and they're doing their experience. But I don't know. I mean, the trailer looks really clean. But you know how sometimes you watch these trailers and you don't know if it's an actual game
Yeah.
or just like a fan made thing, which it looks good, fan made, if anything. But excuse me. Oh, okay.
What's up? Sorry, I had to make some coffee.
All right.
Oh,
No, we were about to watch this little trailer.
What's this?
It's called Hellmart.
What?
Hellmart. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah,
yeah.
when you turn it up. What the hell?
I just came across it on X.
This looks very scripted.
I
Yeah.
know. That's why I was thinking if this was a like a fan made thing or Drain Clown. Like I said, I don't know if it's this is not just cozy art. Oh, sorry. I did not know that was there.
What?
He was doing a thing.
He was cranking the hog.
I know Outlast had something about that. Oh no, nothing about there. Oh, I guess it is.
Horror
Legit.
simulator.
Like someone has to clean that up. That's gross. Did
Wait, it's showing the date, right?
it show the date?
Is that what it's doing when it's going
know.
across? Go back, zoom back in.
No, I think it's just grotesque.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was their way of showing a release date or something.
Hmm.
You know how some companies do in-game release date stuff.
Yeah. I'm like, whoops! I didn't know that part was in there. Whoops. Like
Well, it
I
wasn't
thought you.
showing any. It didn't show anything.
I know.
Yeah. I wish that they would stop centering so much stuff on that end. It doesn't show anything. I swear, if it's not as bad as an '80s like horror movie, then they shouldn't get their panties in wad
Yeah.
about it. But everybody has decided to to be, I don't know, just everyone has a big thing of pearls they have to constantly clutch. Be like, oh my word, I can't believe they had they had this thing in a game. Oh,
Yeah. Heck, some of the old horror games, like what was it? Like the
are we on?
video games, like the what do they call them? They're like video, like they filmed it.
Uh, we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's side note. That's like YouTube having to say unalive to yourself. That's ridiculous.
Mhm.
That's like um, I still don't know why they want to distance themselves and from like mental health language
Yeah.
that's acceptable. Which
Yeah.
I
Suicide.
yeah I wouldn't be like but I know it's y'all's rules and everything, but like if I was streaming on YouTube, I'd just be like, yeah, I go ahead and say it because you know all they can do is take your monetization away whenever you say it. It's a demonetizing word.
Yeah.
I guess they do share your videos less, but
Yeah, they shadow ban you,
yeah.
even though people think that that's not a thing.
Do people think that's not a thing? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely a thing.
Yeah, there's people out there that's like shadow ban's not real.
That's silly. Obviously, it is real. I mean,
Yeah.
the only thing that you could kind of disagree with is the wording. Like, you could be linguistically like, meh, it's not a ban, but it is a. They push you down in the algorithm and don't want to share your stuff.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. They're basically banning you from being seen
Yeah.
without banning you.
Yeah. Although I will say it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be terrible.
I don't know.
Yeah.
15 years ago, you could just about say anything you wanted on YouTube.
Well, I don't know that
Before
back
Google.
in
Let's just say before Google bought it.
yeah, back in the day they would get like I remember one time which creator was it? I think it was Steven Crowder. If you typed in Steven Crowder, his channel wouldn't pop up, but a whole bunch of videos that like basically disagreed with him would pop up, and you would have to go to the second page before you could ever see his channel. And
Yeah.
that was like at the height, at the most egregious point. Um, that was probably like 7 years ago. That was probably ever since then they've started tapering off, slowly going back to normal. It's still crazy compared to the dawn of the internet, whenever it was, um,
Uncensored.
yeah, whenever everybody referred it to the wild wild west and everything.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Yeah,
Those was better days.
you just say whatever you wanted to.
Yeah. Let the internet police themselves.
Yeah, I mean, people argued a lot more back then, but it was better. Everybody argued for their values.
Chat rooms.
Yeah,
Chat rooms get you in trouble.
I remember constantly arguing in chat rooms.
I know. But you kind of did that on purpose, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd go to,
You'd go in there and start stuff on purpose
yeah, I'd
because you
get,
was an edgy teenager.
yeah, I'd get two separate accounts, and then I'd be like, argue two separate viewpoints, and then I'd bully the other account, and then I'd be like, why is nobody coming to my defense?
If you remember chat rooms, you're pretty old.
Yeah,
I remember chat rooms, but I was like really small.
You don't even know what a chat room is.
Mhm.
you're just gonna take that.
Yup.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to take it. Fight me back.
Well, I don't know how to fight back.
Tell me to shove it.
Be quiet, Dominion. Of
There you
course
go.
I do.
There you go.
Girl.
You're in control, anyways. You could silence me.
I could.
Yeah, see.
But that'd be mean.
So I don't care.
I
Be
can't wait.
mean.
I can't wait until the Mass Effect Pro role play and the because
The what?
The Mass Effect role play.
What's that?
Oh,
It's the one that you DM.
The one I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't let the internet know that I'm working on a Mass Effect tabletop
Yeah.
because then they're going to be like, I want in.
yeah. I've told a whole bunch of people on the internet, and they all want in.
Yeah.
One guy actually legitimately wants in on the Majesty role play. He was like, "Oh, if y'all ever do it on Discord, decide to do it on Discord, let me know." I'm like, we're probably not.
Yeah, it's funner to do that stuff in person.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't mind trying it
I know
online.
there's
for-
people out there that can't do it in person, and they're friends. They're real good friends, but they're just so far away from each other.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times everybody's schedules are so crazy, and you got to be home for stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am an adult. I do what I want.
We'll see how that holds up after a baby or two comes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I got family members that wants to babysit. For how long, I don't know. I mean, they might babysit the first time and be like, all right, enough.
Yeah,
No more.
that sounds like me. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Oh, so that we can't do that and bring
Ah.
it over to the D&D.
my house is not good for babies.
That's why we got to build a game room.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need a studio.
but
That,
yeah, that
that's a goal. To get a studio
I need
started.
I need Travis's help on design. I know I'm doxing you like crazy tonight,
oh, I don't care if you call me Travis.
but
That's my name. I'm Travis.
yeah, I need your design for a table and stuff. To do
Yeah, you can build a table.
I had a
build
dream about a table
a table and
last
put
night.
put a TV in it and
Oh,
stuff like
really?
that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like dreaming about doing the D&D on a podcast, and Jesse's like, we need a table that everybody can sit at and the camera can see us. And I was like, well, why don't you just make one like this and then go 40 or 35 degrees and then make a place and then go 35 degrees again, make a place and then go another 35 degrees.
I just
35 degrees.
It'd probably be 30 degrees actually.
Well, I'm trying to
Yeah,
get 35.
that way it'd go to 120. So
would it be round or would it be rectangular?
Oh,
it'd be kind of like a rectangle. It'd be a big, or it'd be a
like
half
octa.
circle, a
Yeah.
half octagon. And I was just like, why don't you do that? And that was a weird dream to have, but
Maybe it's a sign.
maybe I'm psychic. I'm pretty sure people have called me psychic before. Wait, no, that's psycho.
Yeah.
It's like they put the O on it.
Yeah, that's right. Psycho, not psychic. Anyways, maybe I'm psychic and I knew.
Well, they have. Hold on. Oh, someone did a Lord of the Rings game table.
Wow.
Oh, she's looking up designs.
I am.
She's gonna share it, and then she's gonna be like, "You gotta build this," and I'm gonna be like, "No."
But
I
yeah,
can't do that. Hold on. I'm gonna share it. Trying to find my tabs. Got so many tabs. Oh, can you see it?
Close some of your tabs.
there's a problem with this. Somebody's head is going to be at the back of the camera.
We'll just have
You
to
have
do
multiple
multiple
views of cameras.
No, we just get a fisheye camera and put it right at the
How
center,
about
and
that one down here?
everybody will look all weird and funky.
Which
Like-
one?
To the right. It's the far right one.
That one?
Yeah. What about that one?
That was neat.
You have the players, and then in the back is probably where the DM is,
And that's probably the DM.
because you can see the chair back there by the fireplace. You can see the chair, and that would be where the
1, 2,
DM
3,
controls
4.
everything on the TV monitor. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
5.
spots.
Yeah, and plus the DM.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Back there by the fireplace is where the DM is.
I know.
So that's pretty cool. Or that one, that square.
This one?
That's the ones I've looked at.
Yeah. That's cool. They got the.
Yeah, you put the main screen in the center there, and then you can put 3 on each side and 2 on the ends.
And then there's this one. Whoops.
Whoops.
Whoops. Oh no, I can't enlarge it. Oh, that's because it's. Click to link to a store.
Yeah.
Yay. Store time.
Store time. Buy it. $1,000.
No.
Consume product and be happy.
Consume product and be excited for a new product.
But yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I like the ones with the TVs because you can hook your laptop or computer up to it and then you can run stuff.
I need to get better organized either on. I need to buy a tablet, I think. But I do need to either get better organized on computer or uh, go ahead and transfer that off into a book or something. Because some of the stuff that, well, it wasn't important for last game because most of the stuff that's on the computer is stuff that's like skills that y'all weren't probably going to ask for this time around because you don't have the money for it. Like I didn't expect Chipmunk to come in and be like, "I want to buy an invisibility potion." Well, I was like, "Well, that's 800 gold."
Yeah, no, I know I broke.
Yeah,
The money system is like, yep, everyone wants, is like, oh, you want information about this? 5 gold. I,
What's the paladin's name? No, Nam.
no, Nam.
no, Nam.
That's such a weird
I think he
name.
came. Did, did he already have that name picked out?
Yeah, yeah, he had that picked out before we started
Okay.
playing. He is kind of wanting to go back and change his character, though. He doesn't like the fact that he's tall. He was like, "Can I make my character short?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Can I make him a foot tall?" I was like, "No, you can't."
Yeah, because I know he's always played the short characters.
Yeah, I don't know why he decided tall this time around, but he decided he wanted to be tall.
I just like playing different characters.
Yeah, me too. I try to branch out.
I feel like I play the same character.
Gullible one.
Yeah,
The sweet, nice, gullible.
yeah, yeah. The trying to be the peacemaker, but then I'm like, I was talking to Dominion earlier, and I was like, you know, it's really funny, or maybe no, we were talking. I think we were talking. Um, I'm surprised my character didn't try to break up that fight or try
Yeah.
to settle everyone down.
Just sitting there bewildered. You're just like,
Yeah, I was like, what is going on?
She was
That was
just
also fun.
stunned.
I was like, is this really happening? Okay. Interesting.
What, did you find something?
Well, I was they had what is it?
Is that what you said when my character started Cobalt? Just dry.
dry even over the
Yeah,
gnome.
dry even on the gnome.
No.
Uh,
Oh, this is interesting.
yeah, it was like I would be like, oh my gosh, I don't know him. We're gonna get kicked out, and the guy that's our handler is like there, witnessing everything going down.
I think you walked in whenever stuff was just thrown everywhere.
Yeah, everybody was getting excited and throwing stuff everywhere, and dwarves were laughing and getting ready for the rumble.
Okay, I know that Dominion's role was definitely a fail, but it was like a successful fail because
Yeah.
it kind of turned out.
Well, yeah, at first I was like, oh, I didn't get to throw up on the gnome, but then I was like, wait a minute, this is going to be better because I'm not actually throwing up on him. I'm just going to be trying to throw up on him.
Yeah, he tried to
I'm
will
like, this
himself
is going to be way better.
Yeah, or started saying that he kind of wished that he had picked elf at last night. He was like, "Oh man, if
An
I'd
elf
picked
or a
yeah
gnome?
an elf, He was like, "Oh, I wish I had claimed elf actually, because my role play would be like, hi, I'm an elf, but I'm a cat boy. Look, I've got cat ears." And I'm like, and he
So
was
he's
like,
trying to make him a furry.
yeah, he's like got fake cat ears, and he's just weird, and he's just like, "Ooh, I'm a cat boy, ooh woo." And, and Justin was like, "I would kill you immediately."
uh, hold on. I'm gonna share my screen real fast. Um, and this is how a Critical Role has their setup.
Yeah, I like Critical Role. I know they do
Same.
the
Oh, come on. They got some fun stuff.
I know they do another weird. They have like another weird setup
Mm-hmm.
where, um, yeah, they got a bunch of cameras they switch to and everything though. I can see
Yeah.
all the
There's
cameras.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras and a
That you can
lot of
see.
mics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a camera sitting in front of the DM.
yep,
Yeah. But they don't show Matt Mercer's roles much, or their roles really. They just kind of announce.
yeah. A lot of times the DM will try to keep their roles secret to so he can slightly change things, which I usually don't do. If you want to look at my roles, you're free to do so, because I usually try to plan out and then run combat scenarios before you guys actually do the combat scenarios, so I don't have to push it one way or another, and it's authentic. But I would have preferred the combat scenario last night to be easier because I didn't mean it to be that hard.
It was fun though. I was like, oh man. But also, I had 3 fail. Well, I failed either to heal 3 times, so I used up 3 of my willpower or action points.
Yeah,
And so I was like low on my action points going in. I'm like, oh man.
see, I see. Whenever I ran this, I just had I had the Nonam roll at the very beginning to put a shield on as soon as he got in the sewers, and that was a mistake to think that he would remember to do that. And then I rolled for like y'all got in the combat scenario, and then Helen uses her skeleton to tank, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot the skeleton's dead, because I had done this
Mm-hmm.
a couple of weeks ago to see how it would work out. And 5 rats you went through too fast. 7 rats was a little bit too difficult, and you couldn't move on to the next the next uh, combat experience. But 6 rats was just right.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh yeah, the skeleton's dead. Whoops, I shouldn't have I should have scaled it back to 5 rats, and it probably would have been fine after that, because the rats missed most of the time. Uh, they missed like 40. Sorry, they missed about 60% of the time and only hit about 40%. But every time they did hit, I was making some like kick ass rolls last night on attacks.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hit 3 criticals.
Like I'm just there healing them, and and it's like, oh, the rat bites into your shin, and you start feeling a weird sensation. You got the plague. It's like,
Yeah.
ah! It's like I'm trying, but they kept on getting plague bitten.
But next time, hopefully, it'll be easier. Y'all did gain XP and leveled up and
Yeah,
stuff, so it'll be easier next time.
I think tactical's the highest level.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, I don't know if I'm a level 3 though.
You're almost a level
I'm
3.
almost level 3. I just have
Everybody else just got to level 2.
yeah.
yeah.
That was a good decision to pay the money she got a critical success that gave her double. That was a really good decision to get trained by her.
I knew you were rolling good last night, so Taking advantage of your roles. But yeah,
But that was a lot of fun, though. I had a lot of fun doing it.
I did. I had a lot of fun last night as
I,
well.
I like acting out the little characters I think about that I
Yeah,
make.
yeah, they were. Um, what would we like if we ever did do like a D&D thing and streamed it? What would we call ourselves?
Um, uh, critical fail.
No, we're gonna get sued. They got more money than we do.
Yeah.
There's this critical
Critical Role.
critical role.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ours is different because we change a little bit of it.
But still, it's similar. Because I think I don't know, they don't they have another channel as well, or is it
uh,
all Critical Role?
yeah. It's. I think it's critical role, and then uh, I would if they tried to sue me or anything, I would be like, no, ours is off a critical success, and a critical success. Then D&D, we're critical failure, as in we critically fail all the time,
Yes.
constantly rolling critical failures.
Which is very true.
We yeah, we had 3 critical failures, which is unusual for a 2d20 game. You usually don't have two like one critical failure because somebody has to roll a 19 and a 20 to get like a critical failure,
Hmm.
or like a 17 and a 20 to get like a failure. And I think we had 2 or 3 critical failures and one failure.
Yeah.
I was actually pretty lenient considering no nams. Whenever he tried to do the special ability,
I thought
he
you was going to make
critically
I
failed.
thought you was going to make him sling the sword at somebody.
I
Yeah,
thought
I was
about doing
bracing
that.
for it. I was bracing. It's like he's
I'm
gonna
like, the sword's just going to swing right toward me and knock me out.
Yeah, I
or
thought
stab
about doing
you.
that because he got a 19 and a 20
Oh
whenever he
wow.
rolled. And I was like, this, so the worst possible thing should be the thing, but this is already a hard encounter. So instead, I'm going to punish everybody financially. And now the sword is broken. He can use it, but now he has to go get it repaired,
Man,
which which is going to cost y'all like 30 or 40 gold, making this expedition uh,
he
like,
already
yeah, I
he
know.
got his poor money. He got his poor gold stolen.
Yeah, I know, but it's a
I think TJR just doesn't like him.
Nope.
no, it's not. It was a 19 and a 20.
The dice
Hell,
don't
Steals his
lie.
gold wine, like gets him drunk and poisons him to sleep,
yeah.
and then
Hey,
steals his gold.
hey, it was
Hey,
his choice to take a drink of this of what we could all figure.
immediately.
But TJR could have been like, okay, when the thief got blown out the window, he did not hold on to the gold.
That's true. I could have done it, but I don't think I put it so
But
well because
see,
I had planned. I
he
see.
planned to take his
I
money.
I had planned that. See, this is what I planned, that whoever drank the gold and stayed at the end would
Okay.
lose their gold. That
Hmm.
was like the catch. The uh, but whoever didn't drink would, and they rolled successfully to wake up. Um, they would keep their stuff. So that's what I had planned to do. That was what the rolls were about. Like, did you successfully, if you drank, did you successfully resist the poison and able to get
Okay.
up? And
Okay.
then, and so that was what you actually rolled for. I just said, oh, see if you roll to resist the poison. No, it's this is roll to see if you got your stuff stolen.
Yeah,
But
I didn't. I didn't. My character is like, nah,
yeah,
I don't drink.
the only 3 that got it was uh, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Dominion knew what was happening.
Oh yeah.
Austin knew immediately, or sorry, what's his wizard's name?
I
Willifo.
think Williford
Willifern.
or
Yeah,
something.
Willifern knew immediately. He knew what was happening, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be drinking uh, anything a rogue gives me.
Yeah.
He's going to buy me a whole bunch of stuff, and everybody else has been money grubby. This is a trap."
Mhm. I was I, the Minions character. He's like, yeah. He probably knew. Maybe I don't know. He's like, okay, more drinks for me.
Yeah,
Downs
and see
two,
if he
three
hadn't,
spiked drinks.
and if he see he had a roll with an advantage, and he actually rolled pretty decently. Um, so I was, but he had 3 drinks, so I was like, oh, well, he's got a really good roll, but he had 3 drinks, so he's still going to pass out, but something good's still going to happen to him because he had a really good roll. So I was like, what do I do with that? I was like, oh, okay, well, he made some money because and he, but he also almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like 2 health.
Yeah,
Well,
that's only because she's got a strength bonus where she's got a strength bonus where every 3 strength she has, she gets an attack die. Plus she gets an unarmed attack die. So that I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna roll for her unarmed attack damage and see what happens. And then she just did a lot of damage. I was like,
at
yeah,
least,
it's gonna be like 3 or 4 damage, maybe 5 damage. It's not gonna be a big deal.
at
And then
least he has a loyal customer.
yeah,
I didn't know fighting was involved.
with
I think I'm going to charge more.
with barbarians of Crom, apparently it is.
uh, oh
I
man.
got a video for T-Chart if he wants. If
Yeah,
show it to him, see if he what he thinks.
Welcome back to another episode of What the Alcohol You Drink Says About You. Today we're going to be talking about cheap alcohol. I mean like bottom of the shelf. Something I know about someone who drinks Quality House vodka. They always have a Dollar General brand phone and it doesn't work. Either because they've taken it apart for some reason or they have a backpack full of chargers and none of them fit it. Everybody I know that drinks Margaritaville, silver or gold, is always really mad and in a hurry. God damn it, I spilled my milk in the car. Give me that fifth of Margaritaville right there, yeah. 1563 here, I'm going to pay you in pennies, but like hurry up because I got to go. If you're paying for a $15 bottle of tequila in pennies, where you got to be? If you see somebody that drinks Barton's vodka, don't fuck with them. Just don't. This is some rough shit. I feel like if a fifth of Barton's could talk, it would just go around going, all right. People that drink these little 99 shots are wild. They're the only people I know that'll walk in and be like, give me 2 peaches, 3 watermelons, 2 grapes, 3 chocolate. Like, what are you doing, baking a cake? And they'll go out in the parking lot, drink all of them, get on their bicycle with a flat tire, and ride it 18 miles home. People that drink the Varsky 100 are either just out of jail, about to go to jail, or while they're drinking it, doing things that will put them in jail.
You know anybody like that?
I don't know, man. I don't know alcohols that well.
He's got more. Yeah. I'll see if I can find this over there. Because he has the other. Let me go to his website. Or I guess this is him. I think this is another one.
Excuse me.
It was a hiccup.
Yep.
Yeah, not a fish.
We're going to talk about what the alcohol you drink says about you. If you drink Jaeger, and I don't mean mix it, I mean like straight from the bottle, I need you to go ahead and check yourself into the local county jail and just save the law the fucking trouble. If you drink Fireball, we get it. You know how to fight. Stop punching people. If you drink Wild Turkey 101, how's that divorce treating you, Bubba? If you drink Jack Daniels, I bet there's a vehicle in your yard right now that don't run. Just sitting there. Hasn't run in 3 years, and you keep telling everybody you're going to fix it. Just tell everybody you can't fucking afford to fix it. If you drink Elijah Craig, I'm going to need you to take that 700 credit score and shove it right up your ass. If you drink Tavarsky 100, I'm going to assume you're either a woman who likes to hit men or a man with a suspended driver's license who wears cheap cologne, walking around smelling like cigarettes, cinnamon, the inside of a pharmacy, and shit. If you drink Crown Royal and somebody punches you, you're going to go, oh! Oh! If you drink Kentucky Gentleman and someone punches you, you're going to go, do it again. If you drink Bush Apple, you're a goddamn man.
I think that's what he drinks.
Yeah, that's probably what he drinks. The Bush Apple, but if you drink a Crown Royal or whatever, you're going to do, oh!
I'm gonna tell Dr. Shockalock he's not gonna be happy about that.
Which one?
The Crown Royal. He loves Crown Royal.
It's so funny because
Just show him that video. Actually, I probably should send it to him.
he's gonna be like,
At least nobody's talking crap about the whiskey I like to drink.
Oh, he's got it somewhere, but I just could never find it. Yeah, come on. Why ain't it popping up? I had to show it to you another time when we're not streaming. I'll show you yours.
Oh.
So what else we going to talk about? Huh.
Mod support came to Bellwright.
What?
oh, so we can do mods on Bell right now.
Yeah, apparently.
Interesting.
Huh.
I like games that do mod support. I think all games should have mod support.
Yeah. Because mods is what makes it fun.
That's what keeps the game alive. Well,
Yeah.
Than it should.
Yeah.
If people still playing Skyrim together and stuff.
I know Skyrim's still being played.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Trying to think what happened.
I don't know. Skyrim is just such a good game that I can still go back and play it without mods.
That is true. I think everything that Elder Scrolls in the Elder Scrolls universe is really good. The other day somebody was doing this a stream, and I come in and he was a dark elf, and I tried to role play with the guy a little bit and was like, "Oh, called him like a." Said he wasn't a sophisticated elf, and all the sophisticated elves died out with the tribunal and everything, but he didn't know what I was talking about.
I don't think not everybody knows Fallout lore. I mean, Elder Scrolls lore.
Yeah, you gotta play Morrowind to know that. So, not everybody has played Morrowind.
Morrowind's a hard game to play.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Because you kind of gotta plan your character out, or
Yeah,
you mess up on your character and you're screwed.
I think it's really hard at the very beginning. I think you just have to learn how to.
Well, there's only so many enemies in the world, ain't there?
Yeah, That's true. I mean, there's enough to level up. There's plenty to level up, but you'll level to max far before you clear everything. Which I don't think it's that way now. I just remember on the original Xbox, nothing would respawn.
Yeah.
So you have to you have to kind of plan out what you're going to do.
Yeah. I didn't get it out of the dungeon.
What?
Oh, you
In,
mean
uh,
that's Oblivion?
in Oblivion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Morrowind. A lot of people stop after they whack their first like bug. They'll go out and whack one of those skinks, and they'll paralyze them, and they'll have to sit there while it slowly eats them, and then they'll get unparalyzed, and then it'll paralyze them again. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, I see what this game's like."
Or either it doesn't matter if you don't get paralyzed, you're gonna sit there and miss 90% of your hits.
That's true. I mean,
Like,
I really like the game, but the only reason I ever played it in the first place is that I was I was like, okay, this I'm gonna look around on this game. I think it's a little bit too much for me because I just bought it on a whim and took it home, and it was just overly complicated, and I was getting bored with it, and I was walking around the first town. I was like, oh, I really don't want to read all this junk. I don't really have a reason to care. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to whack a guard. And then I whacked him and he killed me. And something unlocked in my brain. I was like, I got to kill a guard. That's my new mission in this game is to kill a guard. And I started trying to come up with all these ways to kill a guard. And then I was like, okay, nothing I'm doing is working. I'm going to try to lure him out and uh, get the slaughterfish that are out in the ocean to kill him for me. And I lured him out, and he killed all the slaughterfish. And I'm like, crap. And me and him are staring at each other in the water. And I'm like, it would be really hilarious if I could sit here long enough and he drowned in the water. Because I was like keeping him under the water and making sure he didn't come back up. And I'd keep going down and he'd chase me. And eventually he actually drowned. And I was like, holy crap, they have drowning for NPCs in this game? I'm like, this game's amazing. It unlocked like a spark of exploration inside of me of like, well, how does it work? What do these NPCs do? What can they do? Like,
they can't make games like that no more.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Now everything's got to be handheld. We got to have one button that does everything for you.
I mean,
No.
that's a really small, unique experience, but it was really a special experience that I could actually that really did bring me into the game, knowing that the NPCs were capable of starving and drowning and things like that. That was enough to be like, oh, this is something different from everything else. This has a lot of care in it that you could actually figure out how to kill a really powerful enemy by luring it out in the water and drowning it. That's great.
Can't do that in World of Warcraft.
No, can't do that in
No.
World of Warcraft.
But you can have a disabled magical chair thing
Yeah.
that don't even sit completely on the ground because they don't know how to.
Did they actually put like a weird magic wheelchair in there?
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's a little bit.
everybody hates it.
Yeah, I mean,
All a good bit of the World of Warcraft streamers are like embarrassed because of it.
well, it's clearly pandering because if I was disabled and I was in a wheelchair and I could be in a fantasy universe I would not want to be in a wheelchair. I would get magically healed to where I could walk.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. If I was in a wheelchair, I wouldn't want to see myself in a game
Yeah.
in a wheelchair. I'd want to see myself walking because that's what a lot of people that can't walk, that's what they want to do.
Well, that's the that's the pleasant thing about fantasy universes, that you can be who you want to be. Like you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can be liberated from your current experience, but
You're blacked out. Tactical.
Oh, what? How'd that happen? What's going on?
Okay. Well, she just. Okay,
Oop.
yeah. Your
That's
profile
weird.
picture's there, but the rest of the screen's black.
Yeah, I know. I see. That's so weird. I was off the screen too long, and they know I'm in timeout.
Yep.
oh.
Time out. You can't be cool anymore.
Man,
You're the host. Get back here.
you guys got this.
We do.
Let's see.
But I like your profile picture. The little chipmunk with the helmet on, ready to go.
That helmet's not very tactical.
It's something.
People can spot that from a mile away.
Yeah, it's red.
We're on a red planet.
You need to throw that into chat and be like, "Can you change the helmet color?"
Yeah. Mhm.
It needs to be olive green,
Yeah.
like the '60s military that we had.
I have my.
Right, T-Jog?
That was right.
I don't know why my camera's like that.
Do you got your camera on?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it might be part of their problem. Just the camera. Oh, you ain't even got a camera hooked up.
Yeah, I don't have a camera hooked up, so it's not that. Boop, boop. There we go.
Whoa!
I'm back.
T-Jard's in the top left now. He's the king of the show.
Yeah, you're the host now.
Whoa! Cool. Does that mean I get to determine the topic?
Yeah.
Um.
Oh no.
Yeah. Correct reaction.
Well, what do you got?
I was going to be like, I was trying to come up with something about our Catboy elves. Is that gay?
What?
Is Catboy elves? Is that gay? But I would.
One more time?
You heard me. I don't want to upset Chipmunk too much.
What are you talking about? Nah. I'm gonna get upset.
You're gonna be like, "Oh, what about YouTube?" Ah,
What about it?
Demonetization.
demonetization. We're gonna get demonetized. No.
I didn't even know we got monetized.
Yeah, true.
Uh-oh, somebody's getting tired.
That's every once in a while I see streamers, they'll mute their streams so they don't get demonetized, but they won't be monetized, and if they are, they get like 2 or 3 viewers. So they get literally pennies. They're muting their stream for pennies.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing that?
How's that work?
I don't know.
Does people just like to pop in and watch somebody not listen to anything? Just
Well, it's not completely
silent.
muted. It's like the game music is muted, and you can still hear the sounds, but it's still, I don't know. I think it's better with the, you lose a lot of the experience, especially in intense moments.
Yeah. I know some games give you a streamer mode, and you turn it on, and it takes out a lot of the stuff that would get you
Yeah,
demonetized or whatever, like a lot of copyright stuff, And they just silence a lot of that stuff.
yeah,
I don't know. I think if I had music in a game or movie, use my music, and then a streamer streams the game or movie, then I would be fine with my music playing because that's free advertisement.
yeah. Me too.
But all these big time companies are like, no,
No, you can't do that.
you can't do that.
No,
You don't have the rights.
somebody
It's
was
like,
going to buy my DVD. Somebody was going to buy it on SoundCloud but now they've heard it on your stream, so now
yeah,
they'll never listen to it again.
they've heard 20 seconds of it on your stream. Now they won't actually go and listen to it or buy it itself. They'll just sit here and watch your stream over and over and over and over and over again, listening to it for free.
uh, I'm curious. Have you guys heard anybody talking about Death Stranding 2?
Yeah,
I
I know
hadn't.
a lot of the uh, left are freaking out over it. They're getting mad about it because
Oh,
it's kind of a teaching people about family.
really? Huh. I saw some people on the right freaking out about it as well. I was just like, I I don't know anything about Death Stranding, but I have a feeling that they're kind of freaking out over nothing. That was just my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
But they were like,
I can
this is all about globalism and blah 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 blah." I'm like, all right, whatever. Yep.
find something. Uh,
Sometimes I was, I like that. I think that the right is correct a lot of times talking about like video games and stuff, but a lot of times I wish they could just shut up and let a game be a game. Not everything has to be about politics. I think they're trying to lean in and be like, this is about politics. This is all about politics. Everything's about politics.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me. Yeah, I think that guy was like, oh, this is teaching you to be a wage slave or something.
but
Yeah, he was like, oh, this is teaching you to be uh, 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 like a wage slave, like Euro Truck Simulator. How it just teaches you to constantly do wage slavey things, and I'm just sitting there like, this is really dumb.
But
This,
Dominion liked playing Truck Driver Simulator.
yeah, exactly. It's just the thing that you do. I played Elite Dangerous. It's just the same. It's the same thing, except in a universe far, far away. I'm nobody that transports goods from one point to another. Why can't people just be happy doing, like, why can't you just let people be happy doing their menial games?
Yeah.
But everybody on there's a section on the right that are like, oh, you don't need to be playing video games, you need to be investing, and you need to be in the gym, you need to be doing this and that and doing everything. If it's not like working on the grind, then it's not working. The then you don't need to be doing it. Suck all the joy out of your life and become a robot and only seek to benefit your life, and I'm like, okay, what's the end goal? Why am I doing that exactly? And,
Hmm.
You got
and
to
they're just like,
enjoy sports. You can't enjoy video games.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people on the right are like, oh, if it's not sports, if it's not baseball, then you shouldn't do anything. You can indulge in baseball, and that's it. Baseball, football, not soccer though.
Basketball
Yeah, as long as it's not soccer
or video games.
or video games.
Yeah.
You can binge 12 hours of television occasionally, though.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you play video games, you've never seen a woman before.
Hmm.
You're an idiot that don't know how to live.
That hurts my feelings.
That's what some of the
Yeah, I
right
know. Uh,
says.
trying to think of that guy's name that works with Ben Shapiro. That's like, oh, this is terrible if you do any of this, or this.
Is it Matt?
Yeah, Matt Walsh. That's it. You're right. You're right.
Yup, yup.
Yeah, and he makes fun of people watching anime and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, some anime has more mature themes than TV shows.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, uh, a silent voice is like a really mature theme
Oh
anime,
yeah.
and you could watch Jinro. Jinro has complicated political um, themes in it. That, the crazy thing about Jinro is that I'll watch it. A literal communist and a literal fascist both watch Jinro, and they both like Jinro. Because a fascist will watch it and be like, "Yeah, you got to be fascist. Look at the communists. They're being animals. Um, you got to be fascist." And then a communist will watch it and he'll be like, "Yeah, we got to be animals. Look at those fascists. They're authoritarian, evil dictators. They're fascist." And they're like, "Yeah, this is the natural state." I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" Neither can just be like, yeah, maybe we don't want to go for this future.
Like, no, go full force.
Yeah, they're just like, maybe we don't want to go to it from a future where college age girls transport bombs through the sewers, and then grown men have to get MG-42s and gun them down in the sewers.
Mm.
MG-42s get gunned down in the sewers. What?
Yeah, you never watched Jinro, huh?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so
Dude, I rarely watch anime.
it's an '80s anime. You should watch it.
Anime's for kids, dude.
Yeah. So in the future, Japan is fascist, right? And
Really?
yeah, it's and the also I think this exists in a universe where Imperial Japan won World War II. Uh, but
People
he,
can dream.
yeah, people. But basically, there's a communist faction, and they're holding protest, and they're throwing bombs at the cops and blowing up.
Throwing bombs at the guy.
Yeah, but they'll throw like satchel bombs at cops, and they'll blow up an entire right police squad, and the the city's like coming out of control, and there are these. I'm pretty sure they're college professors. They're getting their students to transport the bombs through the sewers,
Oh, that sounds like
and
modern day.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And then they'll these girls are who have bombs are going through the sewers, and these guys who are special forces are trying to uproot these communist supply routes in the sewers, and they wear these heavy armor. Um, Let me actually look up a picture of the general armor, but they wear heavy armor, uh, and they're like searching for any of these communist supply routes, um, and they uh, occasionally they'll find one of these girls, and they'll try to get her to set the bomb down, but if she won't set it down and she goes to detonate it, they gun her down. Uh,
Gosh.
so it's a really dark um, themed anime. It's very political, and to me, so everybody that watches it has some political uh, theory about it, but it's just to me that like whenever you accelerate into communist, you create fascist. Whenever you accelerate into fascism, you create communist. That's like the natural order. I think they're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. Oh.
Um,
Stop
Fine.
it.
I can't. I can't help it.
You're making me do that. I'm all out of coffee.
Ruh-roh.
I won't survive the night without coffee. Caffeine.
But this is this is what. Let me share my screen real quick.
Okay.
There it is. Is that it? Nope. Is that it? Okay.
Is this an egg?
Is that it? Ah, there it is.
There we go.
Is this an egg?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've seen this movie before. I like this movie.
Yeah, that's Jinro.
Oh. That's how you pronounce it. I like this movie. This movie's awesome.
I think everybody likes this movie, but it centers around this guy, and he's been trained to be one of these special forces guys, which are called wolves, and he falls in
Is it
love.
a series or a movie?
It's a
or
movie.
both?
I think they did come out with a series, but I think the series is really bad.
Yeah.
But the it's like a
It's the
retelling.
automatons.
Yeah. It's a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, though. It's because one of the women is wearing a red
Good.
hood. Yeah, the girls that transport the bombs, they live in red. They wear red hoods to identify themselves, and these guys are called
Or the wolves. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I watched that movie. That was like a long time ago. That's back when they still had the old school anime
Yeah, this is
animation.
Well, that's why I was like, somebody needs to make Matt Walsh watch Jinro and then try to say that anime doesn't tell a story or is not worth watching, because this is all it's all politically themed, and I think
I don't think he has the brain power to understand it.
probably not.
As soon as it shows cartoons or animation or whatever, he wrote, "This is for kids,"
Yeah, those are for kids.
and then turn it off.
Yeah.
I think the only one I like from the Daily Wire is what's his name? Michael Knowles.
Oh, Michael Knowles seems pretty good. I don't know. I don't know
I don't like
enough
fully
about.
watch all his stuff, but he has the most interesting content,
Yeah, I think.
and he actually talks to people that's different.
Yeah, I think everybody has something they're all right at. Like all of them say something right at certain points. Even a broke clock can be right right twice a day. But
I mean,
they,
even Michael Knowles, he reacts to certain video games and movies and stuff, and he'll react to them, and he'll just straight up tell you, I'm probably not going to watch it or play it, but he's like, it's a cool thing,
yeah,
you know. He's like, it's not my thing, but
Matt
it's
Walsh
somebody's.
seems like. Yeah, Matt Walsh seems like a character of a person, though. He's like a so he doesn't seem like a real person. He seems like a character. I don't know.
Matt Walsh is not a real person. He's a
Yeah, I mean, he just feels so
I've
fake
never
to
shook
me.
his hand, so he is not real.
I mean, he does seem a little fake, though, doesn't he?
He seems like the typical hard right uh conservative dad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To be like, it just kind of blows my mind that there are still people out there that are like, oh, you have to watch in order to be a proper guy, you can't
Proper
play.
man.
Yeah, proper man. You have to watch baseball, and that's it. That's all you can ever.
You gotta watch football where they grope each other.
Yeah. Well, it was, and the argument is so weak whenever he was like, "This is a children's activity that you're doing. Video games is a children's activity," and I'm just like, "Dude, football is a children's activity, and you're not even playing it. You're watching grown men play a child's game, and you're paying money for it. You're in the same boat as the rest of us. Stop talking crap."
hmm I mean, everyone has their, you know,
Their hobbies.
their hobbies, their things they enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, we're all made differently.
Well, I mean, one thing that kind of annoys me about people make the argument that, oh, this is not, or this is a children's activity, or it's a waste of time. A lot of people say video games are a waste of time.
Yeah.
I often will be like, yeah, you're absolutely correct. Video games are 100% a waste of time. So is watching television. There's a lot of things in life that are just a complete waste of time.
Can Matt Walsh build a house?
Yeah,
I don't think you can.
you gotta build.
I can build a house.
You gotta build your own house to be a true man.
Yeah, I can build a house. I know how
Yeah.
to do that. But also, I
Also, I
love
mean,
playing video games.
but people, yeah, I don't know. People are constantly like trying to define what you slap on what a real man is all the time.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we hardly ever are like go out and it's like, what's a real woman? A real woman is, and they don't put these like huge expectations. I mean, some dudes do. There's a couple of out there that are like, a real woman has to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen and do the dishes and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, the, most of the time everybody realizes that they're um, mentally deficient.
Yeah.
What is a man? We need to make a book.
Mulan.
What?
Mulan.
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 Yeah. Be a man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to find the original folklore or the story of Mulan because I was curious about it.
Did you ever find it?
Nope.
I can't remember. I looked it up like maybe It's probably 15 years ago that I looked up the story of Mulan.
Yeah, because I was curious on how, because I know Disney, you know,
They Disney-fy
they
stuff.
Disneyfied it, and
Yeah,
but I was just kind of curious on what the actual story was. And
yeah.
she's a fictional character, right?
Mulan.
Yeah, or is she
She's
real?
based on.
I think she's based on a real character. Or
She's based
real.
on a real story. I don't. You know, uh, maybe she's a real person. I kind of lean towards probably because I read history as like whenever a historian says that a thing happened, I just take it at face value and I don't argue with the history text. But a lot of people would be like, "Oh, this is allegory for blah 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 blah," or whatever. This is a
Yeah.
anytime that, for instance, if there's something too like really hard for you to believe, people will just be like, "This is propaganda." If you look in Japanese history, and they're like, "Did Keiji Maida get between two rocks and kill like 1,000 people?" No, obviously not. You can't kill 1,000 people. And
Who said?
and then I'm like, well, I don't
The
know.
U.S. killed more than 1,000
Yeah,
with one bomb.
yeah. That I mean, I don't know. I don't know uh, how badass Keiji Maida was. I don't know what his life was like. I do know he
He
was.
seemed to be pretty awesome if he got a text about him.
Yeah. He was pretty awesome. His uncle kept trying to assassinate him, and
God.
he like throughout his entire childhood, his uncle hated him, and he kept trying to send assassins after him. He'd be like, "Oh, uncle, I killed another one of your assassins. You're so funny." Well, and yeah, he was he was just like a he's just like a funny dude that constantly killed his uncle's assassins and killed a bunch of people between two rocks. But I usually take it as face value whenever they say that this thing happened in a history text. I'm like, oh, okay, that's. I'm not going to craft my own story and speculate and be like, well, it was probably near 500 or realistically,
Yeah.
I'm just
Realistically, it was 5.
yeah, realistically it was 5, and they just exaggerated it to 1,000.
Because, every time one story was told to the next person, they changed it just a little bit when they told it to the next.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I mean,
What
re-
is that called that they do the little thing with students where they
telephone.
line them up?
Yeah, the game of telephone or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, I forget the actual phrase for it, but yeah, basically.
yeah. That's how it works with history and stuff. Is it just gets more
Yeah,
legendary as the story gets passed down.
yeah. If it's a so, I will say if it's an oral tale, like I don't believe anything the Vikings say. Any stories the Vikings tell, I don't believe because
Oh, come on,
nah, I don't believe in um
Odin.
what. I don't believe in Odin. I don't
Oh,
believe in
come
that
on,
guy that fought the monster naked. I don't believe in any of that stuff.
Beowulf.
Yeah, Beowulf. I don't believe in
You don't
Beowulf.
believe in Beowulf?
but that's not Viking.
Beowulf?
Mm-mm.
What's Beowulf? I thought that was
He was.
Scandinavian.
He was. I thought it was the English tale.
I'm pretty sure Beowulf is a Scandinavian tale, and it was an oral legend.
Beowulf's a Christian.
Yeah, Beowulf was Anglo-Saxon.
Oh,
He killed a dragon.
hmm. I thought it was, but yeah, anything that's passed down in oral history, I don't believe. If it's an oral tale, I don't. give it any kind of like credence. But if a historian or somebody of um, somebody's writing it down and it's within the same uh, few years and it's not like 100 years later, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll believe it as closely as I can. Like whenever the Greeks wrote that the Persians had 1 million man army, for years everybody was like, "That's bullshit. It's probably 100,000." Um, they're just over exaggerating. And then they recently came out and they found some kind of Persian thing, and they actually determined that the army may have been close to 1 million men. Uh, that's the kind of thing that I kind of think about is that a lot of times historians are like, "Oh, we got to pull the reins back on history," and they end up with egg on their face often.
Yeah. Yeah, they also
I like
kind of
eating eggs.
I don't like eating eggs.
but kind of going like with history stuff on how it could be altered. It just kind of reminded me of, Anne of Cleves, who was one of Henry VIII's wives, but she was claimed to be like the ugliest of
Yeah,
his wives. But, we don't know because there's a few portraits of her, but, the portrait maker could have exaggerated her stuff. But also,
yeah,
she really didn't she didn't have, there were some people that were really against her. And they like badmouthed her, like, oh, she is so homely. She's so
yeah. That's the first
basically
thing.
ugly. So in history, she may not even look that bad.
Yeah, that's the first
They
thing
were,
that they said. You say about somebody whenever you're in an argument with a lady you don't like is you call her an ugly bitch.
but, but those are the letters we have to go off of on how she may have looked like.
I don't think I say ugly.
But
I think I call him stupid.
but she's one of the wives that lived.
That's true. It was reported that it was kind of strange. She got there and he was like, "You look nothing like your portrait. You're ugly." And then
Well,
and
one
then
of
they
the
had the betting ceremony, and then he was like, "You're not only ugly, but you stink. You see, there was such a foul odor that came between." And yeah,
well, also Henry VIII was like, you know what? If this was, because he was enamored by her portrait, and so when she was heading to, I guess, England or wherever, to meet him, instead of being like, hey, how are you, blah, blah, no, he goes all romantic, quote, quote, and breaks into her room as a masked person and comes on to her because he thought that, hey, if we're truly in love or meant to be, she'll instantly know it's me.
yeah,
And yeah, no.
yeah. So I do agree that anything that Henry VIII, it's pretty clear Henry VIII was crazy as hell. So anything he
Well, I mean,
says,
he got that head injury, and after that, he
yeah.
wasn't right.
He's England's version of Nero.
Not
He's probably not as bad as Nero.
as bad as Nero. Nero burned Christians and put them like in his garden.
I
Yeah,
like George.
he also beat his wife to death, and then he saw a boy. He was like, "That boy looks a little bit like my wife. Let's castrate him, and he'll be my new wife."
Oh my gosh.
I like George.
Washington
No, King George.
or King George.
I do like George Washington too, but King George killed a dragon and converted a whole village into Christianity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he showed up and they was like, "You can't kill the dragon or the demon or whatever." He's like, "It can be killed." He's like, "Watch, I'll be right back," and he leaves and kills the dragon, then drags it back and be like, "See, it's dead." And then converts everybody to Christianity before leaving.
That's the way you gotta do.
Yeah.
Just gotta kill the
I think
dragon.
in
I thought you
other
were
words-
talking about King George III for a minute. I was like, didn't he have blue pea?
Did I say King George III? I just said King George. Why is everybody
Yeah.
got to have the same name and put numbers behind them?
I don't know, man. Because
Gotta keep the
George
family
is
name
pretty
going.
cool. George is a pretty cool name, but
I say that, but then I'm like, why can't Xbox just be like 1, 2, 3?
yeah, exactly.
Finian, didn't you want to talk about stuff on Ready or Not today?
Eh.
Eh.
Everybody knows what's happening to it. Just there's other
Yeah.
videos everywhere.
I didn't until you told me.
I still don't. I was waiting for you guys to talk about it, but no, it's fine.
Oh.
I'll get the info off.
Censorship.
Yeah. It's
Oh
just
yeah, no,
censorship.
it's censorship. But
They're getting rid of all the edgy things so they can be on Xbox because they already got
And
your money.
PlayStation.
Yeah, and PlayStation.
Oh,
Because they already got your money. They already
Yeah.
got your money on PC. They don't care about you as a customer anymore.
It should be illegal to take stuff out after a game's been fully released. If you didn't want the stuff in there in the first place, you shouldn't have done it.
But I think that you should be able to play with the old versions of the game like they used to do in the 2000s whenever you could click and you'd be like, I want to play version 1.1 or I want to play 1.6.
yeah.
But no, they don't want to do that anymore. It probably makes a lot of sense because nobody wants to play old versions of the game. But sometimes they take things out. Like Stellaris, for instance, is a completely different kind of game than it started out as.
It's still a space game.
It still is, but it plays completely different.
Is it still a point and click?
I mean, yeah, but the strategy's different. Yeah, they try to make it where instead of you're micromanaging 100 planets, you're micromanaging like 5 or 6 planets, or and stuff like that.
So they dumbed it down.
Yeah, they dumbed it down. They sped it up. It's not the same game it used to be. Although I've been meaning to play the newest version, but I really wish that they would just let you go back to those old versions and play them.
They should give people the option to play what they want to play.
Yeah.
Stop being lazy game developers. It's you get paid to make a game.
Yeah.
Stop trying to cut corners. If you don't want to make that game, then leave the company and go somewhere else and make something else.
I guess so.
If you don't want to make games, then go to construction sites like I did and learn how to build a house.
It is interesting that a lot of game developers are cutting their marketing team. They've decided that marketing is not worth what it used to be.
Those blasted PC gamers, they make us famous, and then we got to get rid of them.
That's going to be big if the. I know you said something about, Steam would.
I'm not
maybe
100%
refund.
sure, but it's, if you can kind of prove, I guess, it's kind of in the rules. It's not really, it's not the product that was advertised to you anymore.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things for getting a refund. It's not as advertised.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to refund my game or not because I'm fine. I'll still play it because it still has funness to it. Even though they've toned down the tone, even though they say in their response that they didn't tone down anything or change it, it's still raw and dark. And it's like, no, it's not raw and dark anymore.
he's a little bit raw and dark.
Not really. I mean, it's you don't get that shock value
That is
anymore.
true. There's not as much shock value.
I
I
mean,
mean, they
Tactical
did take.
Chipmunk can contest to that where she saw the Cavolton child.
Mhm.
That was hard to look at, wasn't it?
Mhm. It was.
Yeah. See, now they changed it to where she's just sleeping.
No, she was all that, and I was like,
Yeah, she's just sleeping on her side now, peacefully.
Keep on.
Not worried about the gunshots going on outside and people yelling.
I was like, unalive them all. I don't care. Do it.
It's
And I was like,
time to die.
that's why you can't be a police officer.
No.
You must stay calm.
Nope. Punch them in the face. Cut off their stuff.
Dang. Yeah, I was. That reminded me of a movie that came out here recently. That was where there's these the punishment um, for heinous crimes is to get uh, your arms and legs and like every whatever amputated, um, and they amputate something from you every week or so until the family feels like you've paid back whatever you did. And there was somebody that like essayed and killed a little girl,
Mm.
and the guy that did it had basically his arms and legs and nose and tongue removed, and at the end he's just like a nugget.
Nugget.
And people were the people. It's meant to be a anti-revenge movie, and then people in the comments were like, "Yeah, I don't care. Go ahead, take the guy. I don't care." It
Yeah.
kind of has the reverse effect on a lot of people. They're like, "Yeah, I don't care." Everybody was like, "Well, if you look at the guy at the end, he doesn't. He doesn't feel satisfied. He feels empty." I'm just like, nobody has ever partaken in true revenge. True revenge is dangerous not because it leaves you feeling empty. True revenge is like once you get revenge, it's great. You just can't get enough of it.
Yeah, you keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's an
oh, this is
endless
awesome.
cycle.
Yeah.
Cause you try to go get revenge for other people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just like um, it's not that it's I don't know. People are just like, oh, revenge leaves you feeling hollow, and I think they say that to deter people from seeking revenge, but it's not true.
They get bloodlust.
Huh?
Bloodlust.
Bloodlust. Yeah.
Must have more.
Mm.
I need coffee.
Yeah.
How dare you? And it's already too late.
Yep. All the stores are closed around
Because
the local area.
stores close early now.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, COVID.
Yep.
The pandemic.
Dun dun.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
Obama didn't have anything to do with COVID.
Yeah, he did.
That was all Trump and Biden. Trump and Biden.
No.
Yeah, it's true.
Obama told Biden what to do.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It's easy to make the white man do what you want when you have a smooth talker like him.
Obama did do some pretty good speeches.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think every Trump speech is a comedy event, though. People get so upset.
Yeah, Trump's speeches is awesome.
Everybody gets so upset at Trump at his speeches, and I'm like, this is just funny. His like cadence and everything he's set up like he's a comedian.
It's like satire, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just like I saw him and I was like, whoa, we gotta get that guy out of here. We gotta deport him. And I was like, whoa, you can't have people doing that in America. Gotta get him out of here. Get him out of here.
All our presidents going forward has to be funny now.
Yeah, everybody's got to be. I mean, really, we've had a lot of funny presidents. George Bush was hilarious.
Ronald Reagan was too.
Yeah, George Bush didn't mean to be a funny.
That's what I was about to say next. I was going to say George didn't mean to. And everybody just felt sorry for Biden.
Yeah, Biden was funny too, though. Biden was just like, I went and I did the pilgrimage to China, and and everybody's like, what is he talking about? What? I spent 5 years in China. It was like, no, you didn't.
I drove a truck.
Yeah, I was a truck driver for many years.
I graduated in the highest.
Yeah, I was the top of my class, and everybody loved me. And they said, "Wow, I don't think we've ever had as brilliant of a person as you." Everybody's like, "You graduated bottom of your class, dude. Next to last."
Mm-hmm.
I love when he starts to talk about something, he stops and forgets and talks about something completely different.
Yeah, I love George Bush making up words. He'd just be like, redefine the gemification. And everybody was like, I was like, what is that? And he'd just be like, oh, yeah, I said it was a made up word.
Is it a word now?
No, I don't think so. I think.
Oh,
I
wouldn't surprise me.
He was saying like re-democratize one time, and everybody's like, "What's re-democratize?" But yeah, he would constantly say he'd just make up words.
Yeah, I don't know. Really, the presidents I remember, actually is probably Trump, and because that was like when I was first able to vote and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't like. So I grew to dislike Bush the longer he was in there, and I think I got the idea that he was like a nice dude because he had he had. I'm still not sure if he's a nice dude. He just seems like a nice guy, but I'm like, oh, Dick Cheney seemed like he was like a James Bond villain.
Yeah.
But man, that I can barely remember Clinton. Hey man, I'm gonna go play the saxophone. It's kind of obvious looking back on it that a guy that was like, "You want to come listen to me play my saxophone?" That guy being like a sexual predator. The ladies love it, man.
Have y'all seen where the nerdy professor speaks to the Gen Alpha in their language?
I think I saw a minute of it, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to listen anymore. Gen Alpha language.
No, I hadn't seen that.
Okay, here. I'll share a little bit of it. We'll watch a little bit about it.
Oh, no.
To give a speech as a language expert
Oh,
about the
this isn't
importance
this.
of learning languages. But instead of just telling the students why language matters, I
isn't the
decided
one
to show them.
I
So I
watched.
spent weeks secretly mastering Gen Alpha slang and then delivered the entire speech in their own linguistic native tongue.
Now, I know it's giving Delulu for this choogy boomer.
And to truly test my Gen Alpha fluency, I brought the dialect to a college graduation, delivering a formal commencement speech in full professor robes to a room full of future teachers. Now they know exactly what they're up against. But first, thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video.
True story. So, I'm normally a pretty happy guy. I love my career. It's common to have a lot of your anxiety. Back to the video.
Please join me and give a warm welcome to our guests.
Good morning, everyone. It's a true honor to be here at Westtown High School for Languages Week. Your school invited me to give a guest lecture about the importance of learning languages, but it occurred to me that all of you are already, in some sense, multilingual, whether you realize it or not. And that's because you speak the Gen Alpha dialect of English, a language so distinct that I, an aging 34-year-old millennial, genuinely cannot understand it. Or at least couldn't understand it before I spent weeks immersed in TikTok videos studying your dialect to partial fluency. And because nothing drives home the importance of learning languages better than hearing someone else try to speak your own, I'm going to try to deliver the rest of this speech in your very own native tongue. Gen Alpha.
You can see all the kids cringing and be like, no.
But wait. Of course, to facilitate the comprehension of my fellow elders on YouTube watching this as a video, I'll also be including subtitles in standard English. So, without further ado, it's low-key a huge W to be vibing here at Westtown High School for Languages Week.
You see that girl just thinking her chat?
But chat, let's lock in. Bro came prepared. Now, I know it's giving Delulu for this choogy boomer to speak in such skibbity brain rot, but if you'll bear with me, I'll put the fries in the bag in just a second. I do actually have a message here, type shit. As I was saying, no cap, I was dead-ass pressed about understanding this language. But I had to absorb the drip so I wouldn't get aired by your generation. High-key, people think Gen Alpha slang is just memes and brain rot, but on God, it's giving linguistic glow-up core happening IRL. Every time you drop a gyat or it's giving, you're legit patching the English language DLC with fresh updates, literally shifting the English meta. Language evolves because you're constantly cooking new ways to pass the vibe check, And honestly, your memes today finna hit as the textbook vocab of tomorrow. Bet. And this is exactly why learning languages hits different. Just like how your casual Pookie talk could soon be the dictionary definition, picking up another language gives you front row seats to how people around the world give the deets.
I guess that's enough for me. I can't handle the
Yeah.
the language. It's retarded.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me wonder if like the kids are like, "Wow, we really sound like this," or they really were enjoying
Usually, whenever young people hear their own slang spoke by an older person, it feels really cringy.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Somebody might be in my yard.
Oh,
Shoot them.
okay. No, don't do that.
Kaiser blade them.
I'm gonna mute you.
Go ahead. Did you say you was gonna mute me?
Yeah,
Then you'd be here by yourself.
that would be, and that would be scary.
You don't have nobody to talk to.
Okay, I'm back.
Did you shoot him? That was fast.
Yeah. Shot.
Where'd you bury him?
Oh, didn't have time.
Just leave him in your yard.
Nobody drives on this road anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I was like, shoot him. Tactical was like, what? No. And I was like, well, take the Kaiser blade after him. She's like, I'm gonna mute you. I'm like, then you'd be here by yourself with nobody to talk to.
And I was like, that was scary. That's scary.
I just saw the thing. So yeah, I'm down with whenever you're ready.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't even notice either. I had everything full screen
Yeah,
mode.
you don't have to message that. You can just ask.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys want to end it here or
Not really.
not really? No. But
I wanted to talk about D&D some more.
okay.
I'm joking. We can go ahead and end it if you like.
Okie doke. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in and stopping by. Let's see. Dominion, you're still doing some streaming. Ooh,
Yeah,
some pickup.
I did streaming this week.
And you can find him at, is it your title? Dominion?
Yeah, just
Bear
at Dominion
28?
for YouTube. The rest is Dominion 028 for the others, like Kick and Twitch and
Yeah.
Rumble, I think.
And TJ, we're going to be streaming our stuff, right? Like our D&D sessions, right?
Okay.
That's what T-Jar is going to start streaming since
Yeah.
he only streams twice a year.
Yeah.
He's going to start a new streaming service called Streaming with T-Jar,
Yeah.
D&D style, and he's only going to do like that probably twice a year.
Yeah.
There you go.
That way he can get 4 streams a year, now, you know, with 2 different channels.
Yeah.
Since his limit is 2 a year, we just have to make him a bunch of channels that he has to do 2 videos a year.
I gotta do double my work now. I don't know if I like that.
Your character seems happy.
But thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Laters.
Bye.
Bye.